All right, let's see if we can get the computers up. All right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Monday, August 18th, 2025. It's now 3 p.m. We're here for a special session of the Hunt County Commissioners Court. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order. And we have Commissioner Hutchins, Monroe, Smith, and Harrison present. I'm Judge Stovall presiding over the meeting. We did not know this when we scheduled the meeting, and we had to schedule the meeting this afternoon to call some elections for November. IT has planned for AT&T to do some new internet connections, phone connections, and they're supposed to be doing it between 2 and 2:30, and we may go offline for 5 minutes. So if they do, we'll be notified, and we'll pause for the 5 minutes until it comes back on so that anybody watching online will still be able to see it. So hopefully it won't last over 5 minutes, but I'm not a big fan of IT, so I don't trust that. All right, this time we'll have public testimony. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should conduct themselves in a civil manner. The Commissioners Court cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Concerns will be addressed by county staff. They may be placed on a future agenda or addressed by some other course of response. Anybody wish to speak today?
John Kelso, 6005 Horn Drive, Greenville. Get my clock going here. I saw something in the paper today. I read in the Dallas paper, and I just wanted to share with you guys. The Dallas County Commissioners Court workshop on Thursday began as a routine discussion of the upcoming budget. Before 30 minutes had passed, Commissioner John Wiley Price was yelling. It came as Budget Officer Watkins was explaining a proposed allocation of $570,000 for new constable positions and equipment in Precinct 3 and 5. Price interrupted with a stop, then asked why the hell all of a sudden Precinct 5 was getting additional funding. As Watkins was responding to him, Commissioner Garcia tried to interject and add details. That's when Price began yelling, his voice soon becoming hoarse. "Stop, I'm not talking to you," Price yelled at Garcia. "Okay, then, don't say nothing to me." He continued, "Blank blanket, I said I was talking to Watkins. Do not interrupt me. Don't interrupt." County Judge Clay Jenkins tried to claim him with a John, okay, before calling a recess, which lasted 10 minutes. Well, John Wiley, I think, might need 24 hours sometimes, but they called a 10-minute recess anyway. So I just wanted to say, please don't let any Hunt County Commissioner Court budget meetings end up like that. And I know you won't, but I just wanted to give a perspective on how things can go south in a hurry if you're not careful. Thanks.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chairman.
Anyone else? Not, I'll close the public testimony. Commissioners, under new business consent calendar, entertain a motion to approve.
Could I ask one question
Sure.
on that? So I see that we're replacing a supplier for one that could not perform.
Correct.
Was the performance the inability to get to it, or they did bad work?
Neither. He just withdrew his bid.
Okay, so we're not into any money anywhere?
No.
Okay,
No, we just withdrew. It's for a grease trap at the jail. And
Okay.
it's underneath the slab, and I don't know if he realized it was bigger than he thought it was and bid too low or what he did, but he
All right.
just pulled out. He never started.
all right, thank you. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action items. We don't have any, do we, Mary? No? Okay. Number one, order the constitutional amendments election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Ms. Ash?
Good afternoon, Court. I am here today to ask the Court to discuss and possibly take action on the November 4th constitutional amendment election. I have the order presented to the Court.
Any questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Been a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 2, public hearing, consideration, and action on an order calling a special election to confirm the creation of Hunt County Emergency Service District Number 1 and to authorize the imposition of an ad valorem tax not to exceed 10 cents on each $100 of taxable value of property by the district pursuant to the Texas Health and Safety Code 775.018 and all related issues. Daniel.
All right. To be real upfront, we're not going to be able to take any action on this to set an election for this November because there's some timing issues that are going to get in the way of that. I will give you just a brief background and tell you where we are in the process, but this election is going to happen in November 2026. It can't be pushed forward to the next election because the code section that this ESD petition was filed under only allows for elections in November during odd years, or during even years. So it can't happen during May of 26. The people moving forward with that petition and putting everything together several weeks ago got us their initial version of that. And it had a map, but it wasn't a meets and bounds kind of map. And so over the past couple of weeks, they've worked with some other people and put together a big meets and bounds covering the entire area, which is basically the current VFD limits for the Caddo Mills VFD. They sent that petition with probably double the amount of names that was necessary, which is 100 names, and we've checked over that petition. But there are 2 other things that have to happen before the election can be called. One is to get permission from all the cities that have ETJs in the service area, and then the other is to get a notice of a public hearing set up with at least 3 weeks notice. And so obviously neither of those can happen by today, and today is the election deadline. And so over the next year, I'm going to meet with the firefighters who've done that as soon as we get past the budget season and work with them on the specific timeframes necessary to meet both of those requirements. With that much advance notice, it shouldn't be difficult. I talked with the guy that came to court, I think in February or March, from the Safe-D organization that helps set these up, and he said that he would work with us on that as well. So,
Daniel, just so the public knows, what is our actual involvement in this process?
basically, there's a 6-step process to start one of these, and the county is involved in just a couple of those. The step number 1 is to file the application. That gets completed and then filed in the judge's office. Then that's the kind of the first step of what the county does, which is to go through and confirm that the application meets all the appropriate rules associated with it, which are very complicated. We have confirmed that their petition does meet all the requirements. And so the next thing that happens is that is supposed to be filed. The original copy is filed in the county clerk's office. Then that opens up the next part of the process, which is once that's on file with the clerk, then the petitioners, the organizers basically of the ESD, then use a certified copy of that to get permission from all of the governments that need to sign off, which in this case there's 4 cities, Greenville, Caddo Mills, Royce City, and Josephine. The tricky part there is that those are only good for 6 months. So you have to get them at a very specific time. Otherwise, they go out of date before the election is ordered. But then once that's done, then the county does basically the next 2 things, which is to, in a regular meeting, decide when the right time for a public hearing is and to publish that. and then at the public hearing, listen to testimony from both sides and to determine, based on the evidence put before the court, whether or not it's a good idea to set this election. And then basically what the county does is say yes or no, and if it calls the election, then the public gets to decide whether or not the ESD will come into existence the way that it's put onto the ballot. So there's those last 4 steps basically left. The county, after that, then there's other ongoing involvement, including appointing board members, I believe. We've never actually gotten to that point. This is the 3rd time that there's been an ESD application filed. This one is very different than the other 2, though.
So you don't have to start the process over with the delay?
No,
Okay.
not this part of the process. The validity of those signatures is good moving forward. And in fact, you can take action to set the public hearing even a long time in advance. And so the only thing that basically goes bad over time is the written permission from the cities to incorporate an ESD into their ETJ.
Thank you.
All right,
So-
anything else? All right, just no action, just?
That's right.
Yeah. All right, action number 3, fiscal year 25-26 budget. I put that in today just in case somebody had a question, but after comments being made on Facebook already, I'm going to make a quick little presentation. I planned on I'll make a full presentation next week, but I want to get, just throw a few things out. I think this is what was referred to last night or yesterday, whenever it was, on Facebook. And it's the same thing that started last year when it said that everybody started saying everybody's houses are going up 17%. That's not even close to what that means. That just means that taxes this year, the tax rate this year will raise $6,431,513 more dollars from taxes than it did last year. And that's a 12% increase. Uh-oh. Thank you. So that's a 12% increase. But of that, the property raised from the values raised from new property, the taxes raised from new property is $2,534,540. So the real calculation is that it only goes up I think it's about 5 or 6%. It's about half of that. It's not quite half of that. I think it's 60% of that is actual this year's taxes. So I hope we don't have that confusion again this year where everybody's thinking their house values are going up 19%. And then this is just some historical data starting back in 2010. You can see that the property value and the tax rate stayed pretty much the same for at least 5 or 6 years, grew a little bit. And then starting around, I guess probably 17, 18, it really kind of started moving along a little quicker. And of course, the time you get into today, I mean, we're up over 3, almost 4 times what it was in 2010 in property value. And the tax rate has gone down by about 30%. A little over 30%, 33%, I believe is the calculation. So I know those don't keep up, but that's what's happening. And some of the pressure we've had on our budget is, of course, Commissioner Harrison and I are the oldest 2 serving commissioners and judge, and we came in 19, and we're at $6 million of value with that tax rate. We got here, there was average age of a vehicle in Hunt County was 18 and a half years old. We had to replace every air conditioner on top of the courthouse. We had an air conditioner here in this building that was set up. I don't know why they did it the way they did it 40 years ago, but it handled 8 stations in here, 8 different sections of this building, and they don't make them anymore. So we had to order and have one of the, I think it was Carrier made it, one of the big manufacturers built one for us, and that was pretty expensive. Not to count all of the deferred maintenance on all the buildings, and the jail was a mess, and we just got it out of being non-certified for about 5 years, but we still had to spend a whole lot more money on it. And the salaries, when we got here, a jailer was making $34,000, and we had 20-plus usual vacancies. Dispatch didn't have but about a half a staff most of the time. Maybe, if we were lucky, we had half a staff. A lot of the other departments were way understaffed. We couldn't hire anybody, and we were paying too low of wages. So over a few years, we raised wages up to get it to the point where we're now at full employment pretty much all the time. We, like every business, you always lose a few to retirement, or they find a better job, or whatever the circumstance is. But the pressure it put on us by trying to take care of all the old business and plus try to get our salaries up, because a county, all it is a large service company. We don't do anything but provide services that the state of Texas tell us we have to do. And that's all we do. We don't create any new things for us to do. We don't make up stuff to go do or spend money on. We just do those things that the state says we have to do. And we try to do them to the best of our abilities. So this is a comparison from last year rates, because not everybody has their rates approved, including us. But the counties we got listed